we've been the #1 brand since Q3 of 2017. As per the latest quarter results that have come out, which is Q2 of 2018, we hold a 29.7% market share, which means that roughly 1 out of 3 phones being sold in the country right now are Xiaomi phones. We continue to remain dominant in the online segment. We are #1 there with a 55.6% market share, and we've been the #1 brand in the online space for the last 7 straight quarters. So as we continue to grow bigger, our responsibilities are also bigger. Our customer base is becoming bigger. We are trying to improve all aspects of our customer experience. So we are focusing a lot on our after-sales experience for the last few quarters, and I'm happy to share that we've also been rated #1 in after-sales performance by an independent third-party agency which has done a survey across thousands of customers. So what exactly is #1 in after-sales service? So they ran a survey across thousands of respondents, trying to figure out, how good was their issue resolution, issue understanding, first call resolution, and the infrastructure that the brand provides. Happy to say that we've been rated as the leader or being amongst the leaders across all of these parameters, which helps us give a great customer experience to our Mi fans. We are here today to talk about the Redmi series. This has been the core of our lineup here in the country. Many customers who started using Redmi 1S have continued to stay loyal and upgraded to most Redmi devices that have been launched over the years. In fact, if you were to look at Q2 of 2018, the top 4 out of the top 5 selling smartphones in the country were Xiaomi smartphones. You had Redmi 5A at #1, you had Redmi Note 5 Pro at #2, you had Redmi Note 5 at 3, and you had Redmi 5 at #4. As you can see, our Redmi fan base is growing stronger and stronger, and with this kind of customer loyalty, we feel the need to push ourselves and offer the best to our Mi fans. So today, we're bringing not just 1, but 3 smartphones to our Mi fans over here in India. So the 3 devices are Redmi 6A, which is the smartphone for everyone. Anyone who's looking for a great smartphone experience at the entry level is something that we're looking to introduce. We're also bringing in Redmi 6, with the aim of bringing a dual camera experience to making it accessible to a lot more people in the country. And then we're also bringing Redmi 6 Pro, which is targeted purely at our power Redmi users. So let me get started with Redmi 6A. So last year in November, we launched Redmi 5A. We called it the DeshKeNayeSmartphone, and our hope was that it becomes the preferred smartphone choice for most customers looking to buy their first smartphone or upgrading to a smartphone. It actually lived up to its billing. We realized that it was the first choice for a lot of customers, and we've got more than 1 million testimonials on Flipkart. And if you look at it, it's perhaps one of the few products, probably the only product outside of Redmi Note 4 to get more than 1 million ratings on Flipkart. We've got millions of testimonials, most of them overwhelmingly positive, most of them indicating that this is the best experience that we could get on a phone at that segment. So it's been so successful that it remains the top-selling phone even 9 months after launch. And just in Q2 alone, we've shipped more than 3 million units to be the #1 smartphone in Q2. The Redmi 5A was also one of the most popular smartphones across the world. It was the best-selling Android phone globally in Q1 of this year. So now, today, we're launching the successor to Redmi 5A, and we're calling it the DeshKeNayeSmartphone. So with Redmi 6A, we're trying to give all-round upgrades, cutting across design, performance, and camera. So let's get started with the design. So the Redmi 6A gets a bump up in design. It comes with a 5.45-inch 18:9 full-screen display with an HD Plus resolution. It also comes with, because of its 18:9 display, within the similar footprint as that of a 5A, we're able to squeeze in a 0.45-inch extra space into the screen, which also means that the screen-to-body ratio on 6A is 10% higher than what we had on Redmi 5A. So the Redmi 6A continues with the same brushed metallic finish that everyone loved in Redmi 5A. It also comes with a more pronounced arc design, which means that when you hold the phone in your hands, you get a good grip. It also means that it feels a lot slimmer than it actually is. So the Redmi 6A comes in 4 colors, black, gold, rose gold, and blue, which is my favorite color and which is the favorite for a lot of people out here. Now moving to performance, this is where we've tried to put in the most amount of effort, trying to better the experience that the customer gets. So for the first time ever, the Redmi 6A comes with a 12 nanometer FinFET processor, which is the Helio A22. It is also a processor that allows you to go up to clock speeds of 2 gigahertz. So a lot of you might be thinking, why is 12 nanometer a big deal? How does it really impact the user experience? Long story short, we'd spoken about it at length last year when we had first introduced the 14 nanometer processor in one of our devices, which is Redmi Note 4. With 12 nanometer FinFET, what it means is it refers to the size of the transistors in the processor. The smaller the size, the more transistors that can be packed into it, and the less energy that they consume, which means that as an end customer, you get better battery performance, better thermal performance, and much better overall CPU performance with a 12 nanometer chip. So the Redmi 6A comes with the same 3000 mAh battery that we had on Redmi 5A, but thanks to the Helio A22 12 nanometer chipset, you see a considerable increase in a whole bunch of parameters. So the 4G talk time increases by about 41%, video playback goes longer by about 34%, and you see increments in music playback, gaming, and standby as well. So this is the only smartphone in the industry in this segment that comes with a 12 nanometer processor. Also the only smartphone in this segment that comes with a clock speed of up to 2 gigahertz. What it means is when you actually hold the device, you will get a performance that you would not be used to in this kind of a segment. So the Helio A22 on Redmi 6A, the SoC performance is 33% better than that on Redmi 5A. While running at the same speed, the power consumption on Redmi 6A powered by Helio A22 is actually 48% lower. So more powerful than before, faster than ever. To summarize, Redmi 6A comes with an Helio A22 processor which goes up to 2 gigahertz, and it comes with a 12 nanometer FinFET tech, so it's a lot more efficient compared to Redmi 5A. Now moving on, Redmi 6A comes with an Helio A22 processor which goes up to 2 gigahertz, and it comes with a 12 nanometer FinFET tech, so it's a lot more efficient compared to Redmi 5A. Now moving on from performance, the next area where we've added to Redmi 5A is the Redmi 6A comes with an AI-based face unlock, which means that it's based on our AI-based facial recognition technology. All you need to do is raise the phone and the phone unlocks. Boom. So the phone comes with AI face unlock. It also comes with other options like unlock with your Mi Band or unlock in a trusted environment using a smart unlock feature. This is one of the features that we were most appreciated for in Redmi 5A when we introduced, for the first time ever in our Redmi phones, we introduced a 2+1. It was very appreciated, and we want to continue with that story out here. So the Redmi 6A comes with a dedicated micro SD slot, which means that you can use both of your SIMs and use a micro SD card to store all your movies and music in the phone itself. The other important feature where we've tried to really look at the users and try to solve their pain points is coming out with the dual VoLTE dual standby mode. What it means is historically all the phones in the market, if you're using, let's assume you had two SIM cards, one Geo and one non-Geo, and you start using 4G LTE on your non-Geo SIM, the network on your Geo SIM vanishes. But with dual VoLTE dual standby, technically you could use both of your SIMs on 4G VoLTE, one for calling and one to run your data. So this is helpful as more and more telcos roll out VoLTE-based networks across different circles, and this is probably a requirement that a lot of customers would need as we move into the future. So the Redmi 6A ships out with MIUI 9.6, which is based on Android Oreo 8.1, but it will be upgraded to MIUI 10 in the near future. Next, let me talk about the camera. The camera on Redmi 5A was great, and the camera on Redmi 6A is no slouch either. It comes with a 13 megapixel camera with face detection autofocus. Let's take a look at some of the snaps that we've taken on this one. As with Redmi 5A, great picture quality, great details on the subject, You look at the t-shirt, again you can actually check out all the details out there, and the colors on the background are bright and vibrant, reproduced accurately. Let's take a look at one more photo. Again, does justice to the subject and the surroundings. The color reproduction is pretty accurate. So that was about the rear camera. One of the other things that we realized is more and more people are taking not just photos but also recording videos. And for the first time ever in this particular segment, we're bringing in electronic image stabilization to help customers make videos that are less jerky in nature. From what we know, most of the other brands offer this feature only in devices upwards of 15,000. We're trying to bring that down to even the Redmi 6A series. So the Redmi 5A comes with a 5 megapixel selfie camera, which has got bumped up with an AI portrait mode and AI beautify mode. So this is based on our AI-based semantic segmentation. This is something that we've talked about at length, but now what we're trying to do is get that tech down from some of the devices at the higher price points right down to the Redmi 6A series itself. So this is one of the shots that we take. This is an AI portrait shot. As you can see, despite the lack of a secondary sensor for depth information, based on the AI algorithms that we have, it's able to differentiate between the subject and the background and blurs out the background quite clearly. So this tech works very well for the selfie standpoint. We also have AI Beautify 4.0, which means that it's able to identify different skin tones, different skin types, and based on that, beautify as if you put on a makeup. So it's effectively doing a makeup without doing a makeup when you actually use the phone out here. So this is one of the shots that we've taken. Again, if you see, there are way too many colors in this photo, but with the algorithm that's running out there, you can see that the beautify is just restricted to the face and not just sort of going around the whole picture. So that's Redmi 6A, DeshKeNayeSmartphone. Big upgrades across the board. 18:9 full screen display with a 5.45-inch display. A 12 nanometer processor with up to 2 gigahertz of clock speed, which is definitely a first for this segment and definitely offers customers a much better smartphone experience at its core. It also comes with dual VoLTE and dual standby. So that's Redmi 5A versus Redmi 6A. As you can see, it's an all-round upgrade, cutting across things that matter to the customers. Next, I would like to call on stage Anuj, who's just joined us as head of marketing, to take you through the next two products, which is the Redmi 6 and the Redmi 6 Pro.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and again, a warm welcome again to the media colleagues here, everyone else joining us, and especially the Mi fans. We are obviously really excited. I'm Anuj, and I head the marketing at Xiaomi India. Raghu obviously just introduced DeshKeNayeSmartphone, and I'm sure that's going to change the way people again look at entry-level smartphones. But we've got a lot more stuff to talk about, and let me get into that directly. So the first one I want to talk about is the Redmi 6. Now you are familiar with this series, but we've changed quite a lot of things. Redmi 6 gets dual camera and high performance for everyone. This one will talk about design to start with. So with the Redmi 6, what we have is an 18:9 full screen display and a HD plus resolution on a 5.45-inch screen. It's again made with high quality materials and a brushed metallic finish and improved overall arc design. So this one is further kind of curved, perfectly kind of contours to fit into your palm, gives you a better hand feel, better grip, and overall a better usage experience, especially when you're holding that phone and trying to use it with one hand. Now the Redmi 6 will come in 4 amazing colors. So you've got the classic black, you've got gold, the fan favorite blue, and rose gold. All of them look absolutely amazing, and I'll just wait a minute for you to take those pictures. So great looking devices, but looks is one part, and we just spoke about the fact that we're trying to get dual camera for everyone. So let's talk about the cameras, right? And before I get into the camera on the Redmi 6, let's look at the cameras that competition has in the 10 to 12,000 kind of a segment. So we've taken some of the leading devices that are there in the 10 to 12,000. Of course, the leading devices are all from Xiaomi, but beyond that. So most of the devices that you see are one, single camera devices. Second, the pixel size is limited to about 1.12 micron. And even, as Raghu was saying, electronic image stabilization for video capture is limited. What we want to do is obviously change that and give a great camera experience to the consumers. So the first thing is this one has a 12 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel rear camera with a 1.25 micron pixel size. Why a 1.25 micron pixel size? Because that actually changes the way your images are captured. It takes in almost 20% more light. And when the direct thing that you will take from this is it turns out to be amazing in low light photography, right? It improves this significantly, and the larger sensor definitely helps take a clearer and a sharper picture even in normal conditions compared to a 1.12 micron. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures. So look at this one. This is a very interesting one where you can see how good the dynamic range is on the Redmi 6. So you've got the skies out there, and of course it's daylight, so it's harsh light coming in. But you can clearly see the sky, the water, even the details on the building behind that, while retaining everything else in the foreground. So you can clearly see the table, the details on the table, and what I really liked was the fact that it's not missed out details like the photo frame in the back, which normally most of the competitive devices in this price band would miss out on. But then this does have a 1.25 micron pixel camera sensor, so definitely you get better low light images as well. So this is a beautiful shot. I guess some of you would have seen this. This is the Olympic Stadium in Beijing. The Bird's Nest Stadium looks absolutely fantastic, shot with the Redmi 6. But this is a dual camera device, and what we've got is we've put in AI portrait mode as well. So you've got the Xiaomi's AI-powered semantic segmentation engine here. What you get as a result is absolutely astounding portrait shots, something that you would not see in competitive devices in and around this segment at all. So this is a particularly tricky shot because you've got a lot of blue. The background is also at variable distance, and you've got different backgrounds coming in. But with a larger pixel, with our AI semantic segmentation, there is a perfect edge detection. So you see the hair, the shoulder, even the shirt, which is almost kind of merging into the blue van at the back. None of the details are lost, and the camera is able to cut that out perfectly. And of course, at the back, what you get is a perfectly gradient bokeh. Another tricky shot was this one, because again, the background is a little hard to kind of capture. Again, what you see is perfect edge detection. The subject is sharp, she's in focus. If you look at the t-shirt, all the t-shirt details are also kept in, even towards the edges. So from a portrait perspective, this will give you really great images every time. And what we've seen is over the last few quarters, the use of video by our Mi fans going up, people taking smaller videos and sharing that a lot more. So we had to bring in electronic image stabilization. Gives you smoother videos, cuts out the jitter that you normally see with other devices. So great videos, of course, great portraits, and definitely amazing photography. From a front camera perspective, we've again used our AI selfie camera and Beautify. So with this, with the AI-powered camera, you are able to get portrait shots with a single camera in the front. Let's move on to performance. Now that's the next part of it. Redmi series has always stood for performance beyond what the competition offers. So we've made sure that the Redmi 6 performs fast, even under heavy conditions. People are using a lot more apps, a lot more multitasking. And while we're doing all of this performance side, it should not sacrifice on the battery life. Now, how do we do this? Is starting at the heart, which is the SoC itself. Now, looking at a comparison here, and looking at what competitive devices have, again in the same price band of about 10 to 12,000 rupees, you have most of the devices are still at 28 nanometer. A few of them have moved on to a 14 nanometer node. Some of them are still actually having quad-core devices, and there are a couple of octa-cores that you see. Clock speeds normally limited to about 1.8 gigahertz. So that's what you normally would get for this price. But for Redmi 6, we knew we could do better, and of course our Mi fans demanded that we do a lot better. So this one comes with a 12 nanometer octa-core processor, clocked up to 2 gigahertz. We just touched upon the significance of having a 12 nanometer processor, but I'll again kind of cover that part up. What you get is better power efficiency. That means on the same battery size, you are able to go further, better thermal performance because of the smaller nodes, and overall improvements in performance versus the older technologies. And the Redmi 6 will be the only smartphone in the segment to offer a 12 nanometer octa-core processor. So again, a proof point of what we try and do and provide the best possible products to our fans at the most honest pricing. Talking a bit more before we get into this, why is the P22 a great chip? One, yes, it is an octa-core. Second, it is a 12 nanometer process, but it's got 4 cores four performance cores, which are for task-intensive applications, and there are 4 battery-efficient cores at about 1.5 gigahertz, all of them based on the Cortex A53 architecture. But with intelligent task allocation, it can actually jump between these. So you can have the bigger cores coming in, smaller cores coming in, or a combination of this depending on what you're doing with this device. So it's not really limited to just one part. But all of this kind of combines together to give us a performance bump. So we've been systematically improving the performance on the Redmi series, and this one we see a 30% improvement. And along with that, we also see a power consumption going down of almost up to 48% compared to, say, a 28 nanometer processor. So to sum it up, the chipset that we have here is the P22, 12 nanometer FinFET technology, extremely power efficient, good on thermals and high performance. It's an octa-core processor, the only one that is on 12 nanometer. You've got clock speeds going up to 2 gigahertz, as well as intelligent task allocation to be able to manage your multitasking and your day-to-day performance even better. So where does it fit in? Nobody else actually has a 12 nanometer, and this is also the best in terms of performance and clock speed amongst all competition. And because of the efficiency, the Redmi 6 has a 3000 mAh all-day battery, providing you almost 23 hours of music playback or 6 hours of full HD recording, 12 hours of video playback. So it gets you through your day without any stutters, without dying out on you. From an improvement perspective from the Redmi 5, what you see is the call time improvement of almost about 11%, while multimedia, which is music and video, improvements of almost about 20%. So overall efficiency as well as power has been the focus here. With Redmi 6, you also get AI face unlock as well as a fingerprint reader. And that's not all. Because security is becoming increasingly important, you also have multiple options. So fingerprint unlock, AI face unlock, you can unlock with the Mi Band or all the other smart unlock options on the device. So for example, your home Wi-Fi network or a particular location, you can choose to have the device unlock. It's a trusted location. Again, this is extremely important to our fans, and we've also kept this. It's a 2+1 card slot. So it's dual nano SIM and expandable storage up to 256 gigs. That means you don't really have to compromise whether you want a dual SIM device or a single SIM with expandable storage. Enough storage to carry all your music, videos, photographs, whatever you want to carry with you. And Redmi 6 also comes with dual VoLTE, dual standby. Raghu did mention why you need this. I'll reiterate that part. HD calling on either SIM, so you don't have to choose which SIM you have. And you can select which SIM you want the data on. So even if your primary VoLTE calling SIM is the one that you don't want to use the data, the other one could be actually pulling in this. And hence, overall, you get more reliable coverage. You're not switching between SIMs in case the data speeds goes down for a particular region, or say you're out of particular city limits. So overall, a beneficial technology and something that we saw consumers struggling with. So we've ensured that the Redmi 6 has this. The Redmi 6 will ship with MIUI 9.6 and will be updated to 10 very soon. So that's it. The best-in-class dual camera with AI portrait. You've got large 1.25 micron pixels. You've got dual VoLTE and enhanced security like AI face unlock, amongst other things. So that's it for the Redmi 6. Just an overall comparison for everyone to see. An all-round upgrade again coming from the Redmi 5 to the Redmi 6. You see an improvement in the performance efficiency, the battery usage, as well as you get a dual camera now with AI portrait and dual VoLTE, along with improved call time for that matter. So you get so 26 hours on the Redmi 5 moves up to about 29 hours on the Redmi 6. So dual camera, octa-core speed. So actually dual camera for everyone, and this changes the industry and what people should be expecting from camera phones from now on. How you take portrait photographs, how you will have portrait selfies. I think this should redefine what you would expect. Moving on, now for the Redmi power users. Now this is a new one, and for the first time we bring in a Redmi 6 Pro. Now this is based on the feedback that we got from Mi fans. Redmi 6 is a great device, but then for our power users who wanted a bit more, we made this device specifically for them. What you get with the Redmi 6 Pro is dual cameras, and these are very special dual cameras, and we'll talk about this, and a 2-day battery. But before I get into these two, let me just briefly show you the device from a design perspective. It comes with a 19:9 full screen display. It's a 5.84 inch full high definition plus with a notch. So you get extended screen area, extended usable area. But for those people who do not like this and love the device, which most people will, all you need to do is tap on the hide screen notch and you're done. That's it. It's as simple as that. So best of both worlds, depending on how you want to use this device. Like I said, the device is an absolutely phenomenal device, and you would want to kind of, get your hands on this one. It comes with a premium aluminum body, excellent feel in the hand, grippability, as well as how it kind of fits into your palm. This one, what you see is the black, a very classy look, and some more angles. So of course, a Xiaomi finish and Xiaomi quality, but you've got black, you've got other colors coming in. This is the gold, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. The fan favorite, blue, and we will have this as well. Again, this is a unique color, and something that our fans were asking for. So for the first time on the Redmi series, we would also have this amazing red. So 4 colors, the black, gold, blue, and now red coming into the Redmi 6 Pro. So just to kind of capture this, obviously the device looks great, but I think there's a really cool video that we'd like to kind of show you to see a bit more of how the device is. So the Redmi 6 Pro. There are a couple of other things that make it a Pro, and one of my favorite bits is the AI dual camera. Why? So it's got a combination. The primary camera is a 12 megapixel Sony IMX486 with a 1.25 micron pixel size, and the second one is a 5 megapixel Samsung sensor. Now, in case this sounds familiar, this is a similar setup to India's best-selling dual camera device, the Redmi Note 5 Pro. And obviously all of us know how good that device is at taking pictures, and we are bringing it to the Redmi series with the Redmi 6 Pro. We do know the 1.25 micron pixels are letting you take in a lot more light, so take better pictures, but then of course the overall camera sensor is a really good one where you can get images like this. So shot on the Redmi 6 Pro, both indoor and outdoor, it's able to handle the dynamic range really well, the colors, the overall sharpness, and of course on the right side we'll talk a bit more about this, but an absolutely amazing bokeh. Something that devices, I mean, you kind of limit this to a lot higher priced devices. How does it achieve this? Of course, you've got the AI segmentation, semantic segmentation coming in from Xiaomi, so you've got the AI portrait mode that adds to this accurate edge detection. Now, this is something interesting where a lot of people do talk about portrait mode, but how does it make a difference when we use our AI semantic segmentation? Just an example, and we took this in office. Of course, the Samsung device does not have any kind of a portrait to it, so I'll skip that out. But the challenging part obviously is what you can see around the person and next to her arms, right? Now, in the case of the Oppo, it's seen that the chair in the background is part of that person. It's not able to detect where the subject is ending and where is the background, while the Redmi 6 Pro does that absolutely perfectly. Of course, the color reproduction and all that also happens there. There's a beautiful gradient bokeh at the back, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic overall. So let's look at a couple of more snaps that were taken from this device. So again, a beautiful portrait. This is again tricky because it's taken the glasses really well with the reflection, something that most dual camera devices will struggle with. And here our AI engine does that really well. What's also interesting is, if you didn't notice the girl in the background, now the phone was smart enough to understand that she was not part of the scene, and she was blurred out as well. Great looking shot. This one is absolutely fantastic. Amazing dynamic range, very crisp overall image coming in, the colors are accurate, as well as you've got this amazing bokeh. It's almost like she's popping out of that image. Of course, these photographs were taken from the Redmi 6 Pro without any equipment. But what happens when you've got non-professionals, right? And people who don't really are not trained in photography, and these are the everyday users. You know, people like you and me who would be using this quite a bit. Now they've gotten amazing shots. Now if you take a look at this one, now this one is a really hard one to capture because one, it's got all the filaments in without really overexposing any part of it. Right? Something you again will not expect from a device in this range. I absolutely love this one. The amount of detail it's able to capture, both in the background as well as the subject. The way the red is popping out is phenomenal. Of course, I mean, I don't really have to justify that. You've seen this camera before, and you know what it can do. With the Redmi 6 Pro, you also get EIS because of the increasing trends that we are seeing in video capture. So we want to give the best possible experience. So to sum it up, with the Redmi 6 Pro, you will get the best AI dual camera experience in its class. And of course, it's got AI portrait selfie as well. A few shots. Again, the background is blurred out perfectly. It's got edge detection. It's again, even the front camera with a single lens, because of our AI, is able to capture in the glasses on her head. And this is a really cool one where not only great selfies for women, but the guys too, so we don't lose out. Moving on from camera to the performance part of it. Now, the Redmi 6 Pro does have the best camera, but is a very solid performer as well. This comes with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625. It outperforms most of the mid-range devices even today, with a battery efficiency that's unparalleled in the industry. So best power efficiency, best performance in its class, and of course, we have seen raving reviews from people worldwide on how good this chipset is. And we've obviously used this chipset in some of our best-selling devices. This one, why? Because it gives you the perfect balance between performance, efficiency, as well as the overall daily usage. Compared to competition, the Redmi 6 Pro is going to be at least about 20% faster. Of course, that's a given. And from a battery perspective, most popular devices in this price class are at about 3000 mAh. The Redmi 6 Pro gives you a 2-day 4000 mAh battery. In real terms or real world usage, what it means is almost about 28.5 hours of music playback, 10 hours of navigation, 7 hours of video capture. So it's an overall great device to use, and it is for the pro users. So you get that 2-day battery here. To sum it up, best performance in its class and amazing battery life. The 6 Pro will also ship with MIUI 9.6 and will get an upgrade to MIUI 10. It also features all the security options that you would need. So you've got fingerprint unlock, you've got AI face unlock, unlock with the Mi Band, and smart unlock features as well. So you can keep it unlocked in trusted places or with trusted devices. The 6 Pro has a 2.1, it is a Pro device, so it has a 2.1, a 2+1 card slot. So dual nano SIM plus a micro SD expandable to 256 GB. So you don't lose out on any of those. And one interesting thing that we found out was a lot of people, a lot of our consumers, a lot of our fans were buying our devices but would wait a couple of days till their cover arrived, for that matter. So for that reason, we've decided to put an ultra slim case in the box with the Redmi 6 Pro. And because it's coming from us, it's going to be a high quality cover, and it's going to be a perfect fit as well. So all Redmi 6 Pro will get this cover in the box. So to sum it up, the Redmi 6 Pro, amazing dual cameras, 2-day battery life, and best-in-class performance, all into one single Pro package. So that kind of sums up the Redmi 6 and the Redmi 6 Pro from my side. I'd like to call upon Raghu back on stage to talk about a few things that we are doing to take our offerings to our fans beyond just the best-in-class hardware and software in our products. So Raghu, back to you.
Thanks, Anuj. Right, so we launched 3 devices today, Redmi 6A, Redmi 6 and Redmi 6 Pro. All of these 3 devices will be completely made in India. We started our Make in India journey about 3 years back, and we've continuously grown since then. Today we have about 6 manufacturing plants, which will help manufacture all of these phones. 6 manufacturing plants across 3 locations. We've also started manufacturing PCBAs here in India, and we've gone on record to say that we will try to localize the entire PCBA production by end of this year. So what's happening is we are committed to the cause of Make in India, and we are committed to the cause of making a global manufacturing hub. So we've been doing a lot of initiatives around this entire bit, which we've spoken about in the past. But for us, the whole part of our India story is about actually making it here in India. It's not just about Make in India. This is something that we've spoken about in the past. We're also customizing for India. And one of the biggest customizations that we've done across all our devices is adding dual pyrolytic graphite sheets, mainly because India is such a hot country. This graphite sheets helps in heat dissipation, which means that the average surface temperature on our devices goes down by about 2%. 2% might not seem too big for you guys, but 2% helps a whole lot more from a battery standpoint. So that's from a customization for India standpoint. We're also all the Redmi phones that we are selling here in the market are subject to the same quality standards that we have for the Mi phones, which means that each of these phones go through about 4,000 software and hardware tests right in the R&D phase itself. And what you see over here are some of the tests, but there's a whole gamut of 4,000 tests that each of these devices go through, because we believe it's only if we give great quality devices that last a long time, our customers happy, and our customers would like to sort of keep coming back to Xiaomi as a brand. We have a short video that we've created to talk about, it's a cool, fun video, but it gives you the essence of, what we do to ensure that the devices are great, it has the best quality, and, you don't really have to do anything else.
Xiaomi.
So we've tested the devices for all of these use cases, and we've tried to ensure that they withstand all of these rough and tear that most devices go through, right? So now coming to price, before I delve into price, would like to touch upon one important aspect that's impacting not just us but the entire industry. As most of you know, the rupee has depreciated against the dollar from the start of the year. We've seen more than a 10% depreciation of the rupee since the start of this year. What it does is it makes it increasingly difficult for us to launch devices with price points that are similar, compared to say some of the devices that we've launched in the past, mainly because rupee has depreciated so much. So this is something that impacts us, impacts everyone out there, and we would like to set the expectation that because of this, even with our intention of providing honest pricing, it might be difficult to replicate the prices that we've achieved in the past. To come to Redmi 6A, that's the to recap, Redmi 6A is the Desh Ka Naya smartphone, comes with a 5.45 inch 18:9 full screen display, comes with a Helio A22 12 nanometer processor, that's a segment first. It also comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera and a 5 megapixel front camera with AI based face unlock. Just to give you a quick comparison of where does Redmi 6A stack up against some of the devices from the competition, as you can clearly see, it stands out from a processor standpoint, it stands out from a camera standpoint, it stands out from a battery stand. And all of these devices are priced significantly higher than a Redmi 6A. So the Redmi 6A, for the 2 GB with 16 GB of ROM, we're going to be pricing it at 5,999. But please also bear in mind that this is an introductory price. This price is only applicable for the next couple of months. If the dollar continues to operate at the same level as it is today, or continues to, if the rupee continues to depreciate, we will have to evaluate the pricing at a later point in time. So the Redmi 6A also comes with one more variant, which is the 2+32, and this one comes at a price of just 6,999. Again, this is an introductory price offer that is valid only for the first 2 months. So Redmi 6A will go on sale for the first time on 19 September, which is 2 weeks from now. This will be available on me.com and amazon.in. It will also be available in Mi Homes and all our offline partner stores very soon. And the next product that we spoke about today is the Redmi 6. Redmi 6, to summarize, comes with dual camera with large 1.25 micron pixels, and it also comes with octa-core speed with a 12 nanometer processor of Helio A22. So this, if you were to compare it with most of the devices in the segment, again stands out purely from a processing standpoint and also from a rear camera standpoint. So the Redmi 6 will be priced, will come in 2 variants. The first variant is the 3 GB RAM with 32 GB of storage. This one will come at a price of just 7,999. This again is an introductory price offer for the first couple of months, post which it will be evaluated whether we'll have to increase the price further or not. Redmi 6 also comes with one more variant, which will be a 3 GB RAM with 64 GB of storage, and this one comes at a price of 9,499. Also happens to be the introductory price. And then Redmi 6 will go on sale on 10th of September on both me.com and Flipkart, and subsequently it's going to be available across Mi Homes and all other offline partners. So that's Redmi 6 for you on where it is going to be available. We will also have a bank offer on Redmi 6 just for the first sale. If any of the customers have an HDFC Bank debit card or a credit card, you get a 500 rupees off just for the first sale on Redmi 6 on Flipkart and on me.com. The last product that we introduced today was the Redmi 6 Pro. Again, comes with dual camera and 2-day battery. Again, if you were to compare it with most of the other devices in the segment, clearly it does everything that they're doing and more. So it comes in 2 variants. The starting variant will be with 3 GB RAM and 32 GB of storage. This will be made available at a price point of 10,999. And then you have one more variant, which is the 4 GB variant with 64 GB of storage, and that will be made available at a price point of just 12,999. So that's the Redmi 6 Pro. This is going to be available for sale starting next week on 11th of September at 12 noon. This is going to be available on me.com and on Amazon, and subsequently in all our offline stores as well. So the Redmi 6 Pro also comes with an offer. Just for the first sale, you will have an HDFC Bank offer wherein you could get an additional 500 rupees off on the prices that we've spoken about right now. So that's a quick recap. To summarize, we launched 3 phones today. Redmi 6A, which is the DeshKeNaya smartphone, with a starting price of 5,999. We launched Redmi 6, which is the dual camera with octa-core speed that starts at 7,999 for the 3 GB and 32 GB variant. And then we launched Redmi 6 Pro, which is a dual camera, 2-day battery life device that starts with a price point of about 10,999. I'd like to call Anuj on stage now for a quick photo op. Okay. I think here somewhere in the middle. Yep, yeah. Come close. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
We hope you can experience the devices out there in the experience zone. Would love to catch up with some of you right after this. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.